basketballers, are you ready to shoot in the world of basketball? If so, welcome to our report on the thrilling world of basketball. In this dynamic sport, players showcase their skills, agility, and teamwork to achieve victory in court. From the thunderous dunks to the precision 3 points, basketball captivates the hearts globally for its fast actions and intense competitions. Throughout this report, we'll delve into the various facets of the game, including its rich history, fascinating facilities and equipments, plays, fouls, violations, rules and regulations, and all of the necessary ideas that we must know for a wholesome experience in a basketball landscape. So grab your jerseys, lace up your sneakers, and get ready to dive into the electrifying world of basketball. And I'm so excited to shout this aloud and let the game begin. Basketball is indeed one of the most popular sports and most viewed sports all around the world. Basketball is a team sport that pits two teams with 5 active players against each other in a contest to score a point by shooting a ball in a 10 feet high hoop under regulated conditions. The team with the most points at the end of the game wins the game. Players can advance the ball through dribbling and passing, and physical fouls are not allowed. And there are also rules governing the ball handling. All the time, basketball has evolved. It now incorporates common techniques like shooting, dribbling, and passing alongside with strategic player positions and offensive and defensive formations. In the competitive basketball, it is meticulously regulated, while the informal variations of basketball have been in the urban and rural areas. And that's it. For us to gain deeper appreciation and insights in the realm of basketball, I invite you all to listen attentively as my fellow colleagues or my fellow reporters dive into the details of basketball and veil its true beauty for us all to behold and appreciate. See you at the end of the ballgame.
The brief history of basketball. Dr. James Naismith, born in 1861 in Ramsay Township near Almonte, Ontario, Canada, is the inventor of basketball. The idea of basketball originated from a childhood game duck on a rock played near his school. Naismith attended McGill University and later became the athletic director at McGill. In 1891, he moved to the YMCA training school in Springfield, Massachusetts, where he created basketball to be played indoors during winter. The first game involved a soccer ball and pitch baskets as goals. Naismith, a medical doctor and Presbyterian minister, aimed to create a skill-based game rather than one relying on strength. Basketball spread globally through YMCA movement, reaching the Berlin Olympics in 1936. Naismith's handwritten diaries found in 2006 reveal his initial nervousness about the game's success. He named the new sport basketball, and today it is one of the world's most popular sports.
Facilities and equipments in basketball. First is the court. The court is a rectangular in shape which measures 25 meters by 18 meters. It should be flat surface, rubberized color paint for outdoor court and wooden for indoor court.
Second is the ball.
The ball. The ball shall be inflated on air pressure such that when it is dropped to the playing surface from a height of 1.80 meters measured from the bottom of the ball, it will rebound to a height of 1.20 to 1.40 meters measured at the top of the ball. Also, the ball shall be made of leather or rubber on synthetic materials. Approximately, it is less than 75 centimeters to 78 centimeters in circumference, with a weight of not less than 600 to 650 grams.
Third is the ring and backboard.
Ring and backboard. The ring is made up of a solid iron with 45 centimeters in diameter attached to the board lying on a horizontal place of 3.05 centimeters above the floor.
The fourth one is the game glove.
The game clock is used for timing periods of play and the intervals between them.
The fifth one is the timeout watch, and the sixth one is the 30 seconds device. The seventh one is the score sheet.
A score sheet is used by the official scorer for recording games.
The eighth one is the player foul marker.
The player foul marker is used for indicating the number of fouls committed by a player. For games played in 4 periods of 12 minutes, they shall be numbered 1 to 5, 1 to 4 in black and 5 in red.
Lastly, the team foul indicator.
Team foul indicators. Team foul indicators are suitable devices to indicate the number of team fouls. The device shall stop the number of team fouls, 8 for games of 2 by 20 minutes and 5 for games of 4 by 12 minutes to indicate that a team has reached the penalty status. The basketball team.
The team is a cohesive unit comprising players who work together to achieve common goals on the basketball court. Each team typically consists of 5 players on the court at a time, with several additional players available on the bench. Teams work together to score points by shooting the ball into the opponent's basket while also defending their own basket. Each member brings a unique set of skills and attributes to contribute to the team's success. A basketball team typically consists of players who specialize in various positions such as point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. The team is led by a head coach who oversees strategy, player development, and game management. The teams often demonstrate strong teamwork, communication, strategy, and individual skills such as shooting, passing, dribbling, and defense. Teams may have a specific playing style, offensive and defensive strategies, and a unique identity based on their historification and roster of players. So successful teams exhibit strong chemistry, communication, and teamwork, enabling them to compete effectively against opponents.
Players and substitutes.
Players and substitutes. A team member is a player when he is on the court and is entitled to play. A team member is a substitute when he is not playing on the court or is on the playing court but not entitled to play because he has been disqualified or has committed 5 fouls. All the rules don't specify positions, but through time, it has evolved. During the first 5 decades of basketball's evolution, it had 1 guard, 2 forwards, and 2 centers, or 2 guards, 2 forwards, and 1 center. But since the 1980s, more specific positions have evolved. These are point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. So number 1, point guard. Point guard is usually the fastest player on the team, organizes the team's offense by controlling the ball and making sure that it gets to the right player at the right time. Also called point guard or playmaker, the player should be a good dribbler and passer. He directs the attacks and starts most of the moves. Some teams have point guard who has the major ball handling responsibilities. Number 2, shooting guard. Shooting guard creates a high volume of shots on offense, guards the opponent's best perimeter player on defense, and the shooting guard is often the team's best shooter. Third, small forward. Small forward is primarily responsible for scoring points via cuts to the basket and dribble penetration. On defense, 6 rebounds and steals, but sometimes plays more actively. Forward is generally taller and stronger than guard. The player usually plays in the area from end line to the free throw lane. Fourth is power forward. Power forward plays offensively often with his back to the basket on defense, plays under the basket in a zone defense or against the opposing power forward or in man-to-man defense. He should be a good rebounder and be able to maneuver for shots close to the basket. Forward is expected to be good middle and long distance shooter and to score baskets from penetration. And lastly, number 5, center. Center uses size to score on offense, to protect the basket closely on defense, or to rebound. The center is usually the team's tallest player and best rebounder. A center who is a good rebounder and scorer can dominate the game. Most of the goals scored are from close-range shots and from rebound situations. The mentioned descriptions are flexible. On some occasions, teams will choose to use a 3-guard offense, replacing one of the forwards or the center with a 3rd guard. The most commonly interchanged positions are point guard and shooting guard, especially if both players have good leadership and ball handling skills.
And it's now time for the basic elements of basketball.
Basic elements of basketball. In basketball, there are 3 ways to move a ball. First is the dribbling. Dribbling is the way to progress with ball by an individual player in order to get free from his opponent or to get in good passing or shooting position.
There are 6 sides of dribbling. First is the low or controlled dribble. Second is the high or speed dribble. Third is the crossover dribble. The fourth will be behind the back dribble. Fifth is between the leg dribble.
And lastly, the reverse dribble.
Now let's have a recap of the types of dribble. First, we have the lower or control dribble. Next, we have the high or speed dribble. Third, we have the crossover dribble. Fourth is the behind the back dribble. Fifth is between the legs dribble. And last is the reverse dribble. And there you have it, guys. That was the 6 types of dribble.
The second basic elements of basketball is passing. Passing the ball is the quickest and most effective way to get the ball from player to player. There are different types of passing used in playing basketball. First, we have chest pass. It is when the ball is passed directly from the passer's chest to the receiver's chest. The second one is the bounce pass. It is when the passer bounces the ball crisply about 2/3 of the way from his own chest to the receiver. And the third one is overhead pass. It is used to pass the ball over a defender and the ball is released while over the passer's head. And the fourth one is outlet pass. It is passing the ball without looking at the receiving teammate. And the fifth and last one, we have the behind the back pass. It is when the player throws the ball behind the passer's back to a teammate.
Let's have a recap. First, we have the chest pass. Next, we have the bounce pass. Third, we have the overhead pass. Fourth, we have the outlet pass. And lastly, we have the behind the back pass.
The third basic element of basketball is shooting. Shooting is the quickest and most effective way to get a ball from a player to player. Shooting is the act of attempting to score a point by throwing the ball through the basket. There are six types of shooting.
First, the set shot.
Second, the layup shot. Third is the underhand shot.
Fourth is the jump shot.
Fifth is the hook shot. Lastly is the kill.
Moving on to the blocking and rebounding.
Blocking. A block is performed when, after the shot is attempted, a defender attempts to alter the shot by touching the ball. In almost various players, it is illegal to touch the ball when it is downward part of its arc. It is called goaltending. It is also illegal to alter the shot when the ball is hit to the backboard or any part of the ball is touched by the rim. To block a shot, a player has to able to reach a higher point than where the ball was shot. Bounding. The objectives of rebounding is to successfully gain possession of the basketball after a missed field goal or free throw. That is rebound from the hoops or backboard. This plays a major role in a game as most possession ends with a team misses a shot. So, there are two categories of rebounds, which is offensive rebounds and defensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds is which the ball was in the possession of offensive side, while the defensive rebounds is the ball is on the defensive side of the team.
Here are some examples of blocking and rebounding. First, we have the reverse layup shot. Second is a tapping or tip-in. Third is blocking. Next is rebounding. Fifth one is the screening. And the last one is pick and roll. Next we have, when does the goal count at the end of the period?
When does the goal count at the end of the period? When a shot is taken at the end of a playing time and the ball is still in the hands of the shooter, when time expires, the goal if made shall not count.
Daniel Ewing, got to get it up, puts it up. Oh, baby!
If the ball is in the air before the time expires, the goal shall count either 2 or 3 points after sounding of the signal.
For the first time in 14 years! It's out, it's over, and the Portland Trail Blazers, in shocking fashion, when they didn't hit one outside shot in the fourth quarter, get the kid with the big guts to win the series. Damian Lillard sent.
Ball is in the air before time expires. The goal if made shall not count if made after the sounding of the signal.
I don't know that. That looks way too cool.
on to the official signals.
A basketball official's job is not only to make judgment calls on what happens during the course of the game, but also to make sure that players, coaches, and scorekeepers understand what those calls are. That's why basketball referees use hand signals to indicate certain fouls or violations.
Next in line is the playing regulations.
Basketball playing regulations. Measurement on time limits discussed in this video is often vary among tournaments and organization. International and NBA rules are used in this video. The object of the game is to outscore one's opponents by throwing the ball through the opponent's basket from above while preventing the opponents from doing so on their own. An attempt to score in this way is called a shot. A successful shot is worth 2 points or 3 points if it is taken from beyond the 3-point arc, which is 6.25 meters or 20 feet and 6 inch from the basket in international games, and 23 feet and 9 inch or 7.24 meters in NBA games. Games are played in 4 quarters or 10 or 12 minutes, 10 minutes of international and 12 minutes in NBA. College games use 2 to 20-minute halves, while most high school games use 8-minute quarters. 15 minutes are allowed for a half-time break, and 2 minutes are allowed at the other breaks, and overtime periods are 5 minutes long. Teams exchange baskets for the second half. The time allowed is actual playing time. The clock is stopped while the play is not active. Therefore, games generally take much longer to complete than the allotted game time, typically about 2 hours. 5 players from each team may be on the court at one time. Substitution are unlimited but can only be done when play is stopped. Teams also have coach who oversees the development and strategies of the team, and the team personnel such as assistant coaches, managers, statisticians, doctors, and trainees. For both men and women teams, a standard uniform consists of a pair of shorts and a jersey with a clearly visible number unique within the team, printed on both in front and at the back. Players wear high-top sneakers that provide extra ankle support. A limited number of timeouts, clock stoppages, requested by a coach for a short meeting where the players are allowed. They generally last no longer than 1 minute unless for television games a commercial break is needed. The game is controlled by the officials consisting of the referee, 1 or 2 umpires, and the table officials. For both college and NBA, there are a total of 3 referees on the court. The table officials are responsible for keeping track of each team's scoring, individual and team fouls, player substitutions, team position arrows, and the shot clock.
Kevin Durant, a deep 3, it's good! Dante Grant with the game in his hands. Behind the back to LeBron. Off the backboard. Wham!
Moving on to violations.
Here are the violations with playing the basketball.
First one is traveling. A violation in basketball occurs when a player illegally moves 1 or both feet without dribbling the ball. Next one is double dribbling. Double dribbling is a violation in basketball where a player dribbles the ball, stops, and then starts dribbling again without passing or shooting. Third one is carrying the ball. Carrying the ball is a violation in basketball where a player allows the ball to rest normally in one hand while dribbling.
3 seconds violation. 1001, 1002, 1003.
A 3-second violation in basketball occurs when an offensive player remains in a key or restricted area of the court for more than 3 seconds. Backcourt violation. Backcourt violation in basketball occurs when a player from the offensive team crosses the half-court line and then proceeds to dribble or pass the ball back into the backcourt. 8-second violation in basketball occurs when a team fails to advance the ball past the half-court line within 8 seconds after gaining possession. A 5-second violation occurs when a player holding the ball fails to either pass, shoot, or dribble within 5 seconds while closely guarded by an opposing player. Next, we have the basketball fouls.
The first foul that we have is what we call as the offensive foul.
An offensive foul in basketball is a violation that occurs when an offensive player commits an illegal action, such as charging into a defender.
The second foul that we have is what we call as the technical foul.
A technical foul in basketball is a violation resulting from unsportsmanlike conduct, often awarded for a behavior such as arguing with referees, disrespecting opponent, or excessive complaining.
The last foul that we are going to highlight is what we call as the intentional foul.
An intentional foul in basketball is a deliberate and often aggressive physical contact made by a defensive player against an offensive one.
Defensive strategy. There are two types of team defense. First is the zone and second is man-to-man. First is the zone defense. Each player is assigned a particular area of the front court to defend. Second, in man-to-man defense, each player guards a particular attacking player on all parts.
First is in-zone defense. In-zone defense is a basketball strategy where each defensive player is responsible for guarding a specific area of the court rather than a particular opponent. Next is man-to-man defense. It is a basketball defensive strategy where each player guards an assigned opponent, aiming to prevent them from scoring or advancing with the ball. Next, we have the positions of the ball. Here are the legal positioning of the ball in the game basketball.
So now let's proceed to the basketball glossary. First is assist. The last pass to a teammate that leads directly to the field goal. The scorer must shoot immediately or the passer to be credited with an assist. Only one assist can be credited per field goal. Next is the backboard. The rectangular structure 6 feet by 3.5 feet to which the basket is attached. Next is the backcourt. The area from the mid-court line to the end line furthest from the offense's basket. Next is ball handler. The player with the ball. Usually the point guard at the start of the play. Next is bank shot. A shot where the ball is first bounced off the backboard at such an angle that it then drops into the basket. Next is the basket. Basket is attached to the backboard. It consists of a metal rim 18 inches in diameter suspended 10 feet from the floor, in which a 15 to 18 inches corded net hangs, and through which points are scored, also referred to as the hoop. Next is beat the defender. When an offensive player, with or without the ball, is able to get past an opponent who is guarding him. Next is blocking. The use of defender's body position to legally prevent an opponent's advance. The opposite of charging. Next Next is block shot. The successful deflection of a shot by touching part of the ball on its way to the basket, thereby preventing a field goal. 6 is boxing out. A player's attempt to position his body between his opponents and the basket to get rebound and prevent the opponents from doing so. Next is charging. An offensive foul which occurs when an offensive player runs into a defender who has established position. The next one is court vision. A player's ability to see everything on the court during play, such as where his teammates and defenders are set up, which enables to make better choices in passing. The best point guards possess this. Next is crossover dribble. When a ball handler dribbles the ball across his body from one hand to the other. Next is the cylinder. The imaginary area directly above the basket where goaltending or basket interference can occur. Next is dead ball. Any ball that is not live occurs after its successful field goal or a free throw attempt. After any official's whistle or if the ball leaves the court, it stops the play, which is then resumed by a jump ball, throw in or free throw. Next is defense, the act of preventing the offense from scoring the team without the ball. Next is the defensive rebound, a rebound of an opponent's missed shots. Next is double team, when two teammates join efforts in guarding a single opponent. Next is dribble or dribbling, when a player repeatedly pushes, pats, taps, or bats the ball toward the floor with one hand to cause the ball to bounce. To bounce back up to either of his hands, used to advance the ball or keep control of it. Next is dribble series, a number of consecutive dribbles which end when a player allows the ball to rest in one or both hands. A player is only permitted one dribble series before he must pass or shoot. Next one is drive to the basket, to move rapidly toward the basket with the ball. The next one is dunk. When a player is close to the basket, jumps and strongly throws the balls down into it. An athletic, creative shot used to intimidate opponents. Next is elbowing. It is a violation if a player vigorously or excessively swings his elbows. Even if there is no contact, it is a foul if contact is made, and an automatic ejection if that contact is above shoulder level. Next is end line. The boundary line behind each basket is also called the baseline. Next is established position, when a defensive player has both feet firmly planted on the floor before an offensive player's hand and shoulder get past him. The offensive player who runs into such a defender is charging. Next is fake or feint, a deceptive move to throw a defender off balance and allow an offensive player to shot or receive a pass. Players use their eyes, head, or any other part of the body to trick on opponent. Next is fast break, also called the run and shot offense. It begins with a defensive rebound by a player who immediately sends an outlet pass toward midcourt to his waiting teammates. These teammates can sprint to their basket and quickly shot before enough opponents catch up to stop them. Next is field goal, when the ball enters the basket from above during play, worth 2 points or 3 points if the shooter was standing behind the 3-point line. The other basketball glossary will be discussed by my other co-reporter.
Flagrant foul, unnecessary or excessive contact against an opponent. Floor, the area of the court within the end lines and the sidelines. Floor violation. A player's action that violates the rules but does not prevent an opponent's movement or cause him harm, penalized by change in position. Forwards. The two players on the court for a team who are usually smaller than the center and bigger than the guards. Often the team's highest scorers. Foul. Actions by players which break the rules but are not floor violations. Penalized by a change in position or free throw opportunities. See personal foul or technical foul. Foul lane. The painted area, 19 by 16, bordered by the end line and foul line, outside which players must stand during a free throw. Also, the area an offensive player cannot spend more than 30 seconds at a time. Foul line. The 15 from the backboard and parallel to the end, from which players shoot free throws. 4-point play. A 3-point shot followed by a successful free throw. Free throw. An unguarded shot taken by the foul line by a player whose opponent committed a personal or technical foul. It is worth 1 point. Free throw line. An imaginary line drawn from the free throw line to the sidelines to determine the location for certain throw-ins. Front court. The area between the mid-court line and the end line closest to the offense's basket. Full court press. When defenders start guarding the offense in the back court. Guards. The two players on each team who are the smallest on the court. They usually handle setting up plays and passing to teammates closer to the basket. Guarding. The act of following an opponent around the court to prevent him from getting close to the basket, taking an open shot or making easy and pass while avoiding illegal contact. Half court or set offense. When a team takes the time to develop a play in its front court, such as the give and go or a screening play opposite of fast break. High percentage shot. A shot that is likely to go in the basket, such as layup. High post. An imaginary area outside either side of the foul lane and the free throw line. In the paint. Being in the foul lane, area which is painted a different color.
Officials. The crew chief, referee, and the umpire who control the game. Stop to start play and impose penalties for violations and fouls. 1-and-1 or 1+1. In college, a free throw attempt awarded for certain violations that earns a shooter a second attempt, only if the first is successful. Open. When a player is unguarded by a defender. Out of bounds. The area outside of and including end lines and sidelines. Inbounds. The area within the end lines and the sidelines of the court, also the act of bringing the ball into the area by means of a throw-in. Incidental contact. Minor contact usually overlooked by officials. Inside shooting. Shoots taken by a player near or under the basket. Jump ball. Two opposing players jump for a ball an official tosses above and between them to tap it to their teammates and gain possession. Used to start the game or tip off and all over the time period, and sometimes to restart play. Keep away game. A tactic used by the team that is leading near the end of the game to keep the ball from its opponents to prevent them from scoring while using up time of the game clock, also called freezing.
Basic Physical Education Glossary. Outside shooting, shots taken from the perimeter, overtime or OT, the extra periods played after a regulation game ends time. Pass, when a passer throws the ball to a teammate, used to start plays, move the ball down court and keep it away from the defenders and get it to a shooter. So passer, meaning the players who passes the ball to a teammate. Period, any quarter, half, or overtime segment. Perimeter, the area beyond the full circle, away from the basket, including the three-point line, from which players take the long-range shots. Personal foul, contact between players that may result in injury or provide one team with an unfair advantage. Players may not push, hold, trip, hack, elbow, restraints, or change into an opponent. These are also counted as a team foul. Pick off, it refers to a defender who has been successfully prevented from reaching the ball handler by an offensive screen. Pick up games, it means that impromptu games play among the players who just met. Pivot, a center, also the foot that must remain touching the floor until a ball handler who has stopped dribbling is already ready to pass or shoot. Position, to be holding or in control of the ball. Position arrow, in college used to determine which team turns it is inbound the ball to begin a period or in a jump ball situation. Post position, it means or it refers the positions of a player standing in the low post or the high post. Quadruple double, it refers to a triple double with double digits scored in 4 categories. Next, rebound. It means when a player drops a ball that is coming off the rim or a backboard after a shot attempt. See offensive rebound and defensive rebound. Receiver. It means that the player who received a pass from the ball. Regulation game means 4 12-minute quarters in the NBA or 20 minutes half in college, a game that ends without overtime periods. Shooter, a player who takes a shot at the basket. Shooter's rule, it is the ability to get even inaccurate shot to bounce slightly off the rim and into the basket. Shooting range, the distance from which a player is likely to make his shots. Sidelines, it refers to the 2 boundary lines that run the length of the court. 6-man, it is the best substitutes on the team, usually the first player to come off to the bench to replace a starter. Squaring up, when a player's shoulders are facing the baskets as he releases the ball for a shot. It's considered a good shooting position. Technical fouls or TS, it is a procedural violations and misconduct that officials believes are detrimental to the game, penalized by a single free throw opportunity to the non-offending team. There are 2 free throws and possessions in college. Next, there is the 3-on-3. It is a game played with only 3 players on the court for each team. 3-point play. It is a 2-point field goal followed by successful free throw. Next, the 3-point shot. It is a field goal worth 3 points because the shooters had the both feet on the floor behind the 3-point line. When he released the ball also counts if one foot is behind the line while the other is in the air. Next is the throw-in. It is the methods by which a team with oppositions inbounds the ball. Next, tip-off. The initial jumps the ball that starts the game. Transition. It is the shift from offense to defense. Traveling, a floor violations when the ball handler takes too many steps without dribbling, also called walking. Next, triple-double. It is referenced when a player scores double digits in 3 categories during one game. The points, assists, and rebounds are most common but can also be a block or steal. It is a sign of a great versatility. Turnover. when the offense loses positions through its own fault by passing the ball out of bounds or committing a court violations. Next, upset. It is called when a higher seeded or the better team loses to a lower seeded or the inferior one. Time out. When play is temporarily suspended by an official or at the request of a team to respond to an injured player or discuss strategy, there are follow-up timeouts. Regulation game. It means there are 12 minutes quarters in the NBA or 2 to 20 minutes half in college. A game that ends without overtime periods. Release. The moment that the ball leaves a shooter's hands. Roster. It means that the list of players on a team run occurs when one team scores several field goals in quick successions while its opponents score few or none. Scoring. It is called the opportunity when a player gets open for a shot that is likely to score. Screen or screener. The offensive player who stands between a teammate and a defender to give his teammate the chance to take an open shot. Weak side. It refers to the side of a court away from the ball. Zone defense is a defense where each defender is responsible for an area of the court and must guard any player who enters that area, compared with a man-to-man defense.
Alright, ballers, as we wrap up our coverage on the topic of basketball, we hope you've not only enjoyed but also gained a deeper understanding of the game, whether it's the intricacies of the strategy, the thrill of the court, or the fascinating basic elements of basketball. We've strived to bring you a comprehensive report on this topic. Keep ballin' and stay tuned for more insights into the world of basketball. Until next time, keep dribbling and keep learning!